Is it you that's the unsavory fellow?
Well, you're here, so you must be unsavory.
it's
I know you're.
fellows.
I know you're unsavory. You've seen him on Jackass. You know him from so many movies and professional skateboarder. My good buddy Jason Weeman Acuna.
What's up,
What are you
Nick
doing?
James?
Yes.
I'm driving all the way to Santa Monica to be on your podcast.
Right.
That's what I'm doing.
I love it, dude.
I'm not even in LA County anymore.
What do you know but what are you doing now? Because I'm excited. There's so much to cover. When I sit down with you, we get so sidetracked, right? Because we've done so much shit together over almost 25 years, probably.
Yeah, about that.
You had some stuff that you were working on.
I'm still working on them.
You can't say yet?
I can't. I'm working on some good projects.
But you've been doing stand-up.
I have been doing
talk
stand-up.
about that, right?
Yeah, you can talk about
because you
stand-up.
put that out.
Yeah.
I didn't have any idea. You didn't even tell me.
We started off a few years ago before the pandemic, like early 2016, 2017 and all that. And it was me, Preston, Dave England, and Chris going out on the road. We did the whole country of Canada.
Really?
From east to west. I think we did it twice. Then we went down to Australia and did the whole country of Australia.
Really?
West.
Just you
east.
guys doing stand-up all over Australia?
Yeah, telling stories, doing kind of stand-up
How did it
stuff.
go?
They loved us.
No, I bet.
Yeah. There was only one time, I'm trying to think of the city, where I think we bummed out this press guy.
Why?
I don't know, like whatever our jokes weren't
Right.
up to par for his.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, very inappropriate for him. And he just thought it's just these four guys doing guy things and stuff.
I was thinking, right, when you're telling that story, you being on Jackass, right?
Yeah,
For all those years.
Yeah.
I mean, a mega hit, right?
of course.
You must have had that sort of rock star.
Still do.
Dude,
Still to
I
this
remember
day.
being with you in New York, and we went out. It was freezing cold. We wanted to run out and get something to eat and go back to the hotel.
Still.
You were mobbed and you had a scarf on you and everything. But once people got a glimpse of you, it was fucking on.
Still to this day.
What's that like?
It's crazy. It's everywhere I go. Every if I'm even at gas stations, like
Yeah.
I get out to pump. Ah!
Right. Do you ever
know
get
what I
tired of it?
No, you can't. Yeah, I mean, I do, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's.
They're your fans. They
They're
love
my
you.
fans. That's who made me. You know.
What about the before that? I mean, because you started off
skating?
skating, right?
Yeah, but even before that, people like you see me walking down the street, you're gonna go, "Oh, what the hell?" You know.
Yeah.
My buddy, an old buddy of mine named Blake, he used to say every time he would be somewhere, everything would be fine. It's all cool. I show up, and it's like I come in and I hit the turn up the weird switch. Everybody's all, what's going on? He goes, every time you come, it's like,
Right.
shit just goes weird. Because I don't know what you do or whatever.
Yeah, but you got a great. That's why even when I saw that you posted the stand up,
Yeah.
I got really excited. I go, fuck. I go, this is your lane.
Oh, yeah.
You have this energy. Like I was telling my wife this morning, she goes, who's going to be your guest? I go, Jason. She goes, oh, you're going to have fun. I go, I'm going to have fun. Because it's your energy.
Yeah.
You love to laugh. You love to have a good time. And I think that's such a natural fit for you
Oh, yeah.
to do stand-up.
Oh, we sold out 4 shows.
Oh, that's crazy.
One post I did.
Are you going to do more around here?
I don't know. We like going at it. Like here, everybody's trying to do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing here?
right.
And I'm like, why wouldn't I be here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I'm like, did you have a good time? People came up to us, best time ever. Oh my, like,
Yeah.
we just went and made a whole town happy.
Well, dude, and that's the thing. Yours is different. It's yours is a different show. You know.
Oh no,
It's not just straight stand-up. It's a show. You know, like my
Yeah.
show is a show. It's one.
Yeah.
You know, it's a one-man show. It's not stand-up, but it's a show. So there's something different about it.
Yeah.
You know, you have this. There's a uniqueness too. You.
Oh, we just
you
go
guys
and-
going out.
And I just make it weird. I just go and I just make it weird there.
What else is going on?
I've been traveling a bunch.
What are you doing?
I went to my buddy and I decided we're like we want to see Rancid this year. We know they're on tour, but we don't want to see him here in L.A. Let's just go to Chicago and see him.
Did you? You didn't take that van, did you?
No,
you
we flew.
Really?
Flew to Chicago, saw him, and even we saw our boys in the band afterwards.
Yeah.
They're like, "What are you
Were
doing
they good?
here?" Oh yeah, Rancid.
Yeah, I love Rancid.
Yeah, Lars came up after. We're like, Lars. He's walking through. We're at Wrigley Field, so we saw him play, and then Smashing Pumpkins came on. We're kind of over it, so we went out. We were having a drink. And Lars is walking by with his luggage trying to get through Wrigley, and I see him. I'm like, Lars! And he knows my voice. He looks. He's like, what are you doing here? We're like, we came to see you guys.
So
what?
Great. How great. I'd love to see
do stuff like that.
What about movies? Because I know you just did.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
Oh, you can't?
No, because, they put it out. They did a one-time press release.
Yeah.
But he's still editing it, and he hasn't sold it to a distributor.
So we can't even say what it is.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it out there.
That's all right.
I want to wait till they're doing press for it. But
Yeah.
it's a movie. It's a part 2,
Yeah.
and it actually might even be better than the first one. Directed and produced by the same person who did the first one.
Cult classic.
Cult classic.
Yeah. Jim would know for sure.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh, you know without saying you know.
Yeah.
He told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
good.
guess what it is.
No, yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying, you can guess.
You could try.
Yeah. We're not going to tell, but you
No.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. when we were talking about, I was coming through all this stuff to get ready for your interview, looking at old stuff, right?
Okay.
And I was thinking of how you and I met and we started making movies and stuff like that. And do you remember Jay
Yeah.
Fiendello, who used to own Shay J's? He was the old man. He was in 5150.
Yeah, the
with
old
us.
man. Yeah.
So I was thinking about how crazy things get, and I was just reminiscing. I came across this picture of him. He's dead now.
I was gonna say, is he still even?
Yeah,
alive?
no, he
He's
died
passed, yeah.
quite a while ago. But I remember, you're trying to get everything right. And I remember there's a big scene where you and I were going to be in 5150, where you jump off the thing on my back and we run out of the store. And he was supposed to come out and
With
shoot
the shotgun.
with the shotgun.
The shotgun.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, he was I was looking at the picture, he was probably 80.
80, 81, 82.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I think he's even older then.
Okay.
So we're going to do this scene, right, where you jump, I'm robbing the liquor store in a clown mask. And you're standing on top of Skip's shoulders.
Yeah.
Skip from Dogtown.
Yeah.
And you guys own this liquor store, and Jay was playing your father, this old man who's
Yeah.
sleeping in the corner with a shotgun. Right? And then you jump off the scene is, I rob the store, I turn around, you jump off the top of this shelf of this liquor store, land on my back, we run out of the liquor store, and Jay comes out shooting. Do you remember this scene,
yes,
right?
1,000%.
So we're coming out, and we go, action, right? I do the scene, we come running out with you on my back, and Jay never comes out,
Okay.
right?
I remember this. This
Right?
was
Remember that? Yeah.
Odd shot, and you're like,
We're stopped, and I go, what happened? I go, Jay never came out with the shotgun. And the AD's, it's like, Jay, where is Jay? And all of a sudden we're standing there, and Jay comes running out with the shotgun 5 minutes after and starts firing and freaks everyone out. And we go, Jay, what are you doing? Stop, cut. He goes, what happened? I go, you can't do that. We're not doing that right now. You're supposed to come out on action, right? We go back, same thing. We go, action, Jay. He doesn't come out again. We all go, cut. Everybody relaxes. 5 minutes later, here he comes. And he's yelling, motherfucker.
that's right, I remember.
And the AD's freaking out. He goes, I go up to Jay and I go, Jay, what's going on? I go, you're not coming. He goes, what'd you say? And I go, you didn't come out in action and fire the gun. And then he told me, he goes, I woke up deaf this morning. So he came, he wanted to be in the movie so bad.
That he still came.
He came and he couldn't hear when we were calling action. But I was thinking, as I was looking at that, how many things like that had to go wrong when you guys were doing Jackass?
Oh, tons.
Because you're pulling
Tons.
off all kinds of crazy stunts.
Tons.
Give me one
the
that, like, what
time.
was the worst one that you can think of that you were involved in?
So this last movie that we were just talking about it, like on the road. This last movie, we did this thing where it was called the bungee wedgie,
Okay.
where Preston and Zach like jump off like 6 feet. I'm on the ground, and they're connected to the cord, so they're pulling me. They're pulling you with a pulley system,
Right.
and then I get wedgied. The first time I did it, they didn't have it set up right, and I got yanked, and I flipped completely out of my underwear, naked, landed on the mats. We had to do the wedgie thing like 8 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And by the final time we did it, it was like a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birds were flying through this warehouse, everything. It was insane.
Did you ever
But-
get tired of doing that? Did you ever show up to where you're going to work and you go, I don't want to fucking do it?
Every day.
Really?
Every day.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because you just know you're just getting beat up.
You're getting, yeah.
It's
you're
just
getting-
like showing up to like, hey, punch me in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day. All right, let me just get punched in the face again.
And for years.
Yeah.
Did you get it? We're all good.
You like that one, Jim?
You do.
I think somebody would love it.
Yeah.
We had technical difficulties.
Yeah, so
Radio Shack.
might have to run to Radio Shack real quick.
Oh, man.
I don't even think kids nowadays know even the word radio.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean?
No.
They don't know the word radio.
No.
How funny that there was a store where you'd have to go buy parts for shit like that,
Yeah.
right? And you
Yeah.
could find anything at Radio
Radio
Shack.
Shack, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. What happened?
I don't know.
They just didn't continue with the times.
No.
They were like, this right here's where we're stopping.
Yeah, and they
Nothing's
ended
getting better than this.
Nope.
We got it all.
it. Do you know what Radio Shack is? You do? How do you know?
I'm pretty old.
No, you're not.
27, 28? Wow.
Really?
I'm not
No
I'm
way.
not guessing any higher.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway,
So,
so
yeah, no, we'd get beat up all the time, and we'd have to shoot things.
Is there gonna be
all
more?
the we don't know.
but
We
you're
don't
open
know.
to it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I thought about this on my way here. I realized I came to a realization and then thinking of things. In that first movie, 5150, that we shot,
Yes.
you were a clown.
Yes.
In your stand-up thing, you're a clown.
I know.
You always do clowns.
I know.
What's your infatuation with clowns? There's something.
You know what's
Because
funny?
You didn't. You could have been just like a regular bad guy in the movie, but you're like, no, I'm gonna be a clown that robs.
Because when I was a kid, right, I was born in Cleveland,
Okay.
and my dad, my real dad, when he was still married to my mom, he took me to the circus, and I think I remember I fucking hated Cleveland. Like I didn't want to be there, even as a little kid. I didn't want to.
Who loves Cleveland now? Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
I have never heard anybody. I don't see I love Cleveland shirts anywhere.
That's right. It's so
You
true.
never see those.
No, I love Cleveland. It's so funny.
If you live in
true.
Cleveland, I'm sorry. Get one or start making them.
Right, that would be the hit probably. Or you can make shirts that say "fuck Cleveland." No, but I wanted to get out of there. I wanted, and I remember hearing stories, when you were a kid, about people running away with the circus.
Circus. Yeah. You didn't run away from the circus?
Well, I always was running away from school and shit like
Yeah,
that. Like I never
yeah.
went to school. But I remember then I got out here, like my show on Savory Fellows about me growing up on the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
And there was always clowns, and there was the weird, and clowns are weird, and I was always attracted to the. Skip told me a story once. Skip and I've talked about this stuff with clowns, and Skip, when he was a kid, he worked for a carnival. Did he ever tell you this?
No.
He worked for a carnival when he was a little kid, and his job, where you throw the coins on the plates.
Oh, yeah,
Look,
yeah.
you throw pennies.
You got to try and land them.
They gotta
don't
land.
Slip out.
Because they don't slip out. And Skip said his job, he was a kid, he sat behind a curtain
Dish soap.
and dunking plates
and then setting
and
them
dish
up.
soap
Yep.
and handing them out, that was his whole job. And I remember going, man, I would have loved to do that. Because
Yeah.
there's all kinds of weird shit going on with, carnivals and shit like that, but running away. But that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
The idea of escape,
And
And
not
we're-
being you.
and not being me.
Covering
Did
up.
you like being you? Did you ever want to? Did you ever want anything? What about when you were a kid?
I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted to skate. It's seriously.
But even before that, right?
Yeah.
Was there anything other than that, or
Nope.
So how did you fall into?
It's just I looked at it in magazines. I was looking at
Who were your heroes then?
all the main guys like Nades, Tony Hawk, Mark
yeah.
Gonzalez, John Lucero. I was looking in surfer magazines at the skateboarding ads, and I was like, "Those are cool. That's what's fucking rad. Like that's what I want to do."
Yeah.
I wasn't
then
looking
how
at
did
it
you-
for
but-
surfing or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was for the skating.
And then when you started skating, how old were you?
It's like 9 or 10.
And was it tough for you or not tough?
No, not. I picked
You
it
got
up right
real
away.
quick.
I used to roller skate first.
Really?
Yeah, my mom and I lived in Hermosa Beach when I was 5, and I'd roller skate down the
Like
street.
regular, not rollerblades, but skates.
Skates, never
Yeah, yeah.
rollerblade. Old school
Yeah,
roller
right.
skates.
I used to have a
I
pair.
had the shoe ones where it looked like
Oh
a
my
sneaker.
God, the
they were
shoe
blue,
skate.
The shoe skate where they
Yes.
were blue and yellow and stuff. And I used to roller skate down the Strand and jump over cracks and stuff and all that already.
Dude, I remember the shoe skate because how old are you?
I'm 51 now.
51. So when because I remember exactly when the shoe skate came out. And that was like I'm guessing, we'll have to look it up.
70s.
Yeah, like I was going to say 78, 79.
Yeah, that's when I was 5.
And my buddy and I, they had just come out, and it was in Santa Monica there's a regular shoe store on Wilshire, and we heard that they were going to have the shoe skate.
Mm-hmm.
So all like the kids were like, oh man, the shoe skate. And me and my buddy Tor ran down there to check them out. And we were sitting there, and we asked the lady, can we try on some shoe skates? And they were the only store that had them, right?
Yeah.
And there was this big dude, Gary Ortega. He was like a couple years older than us. He's like gym size. He was like, but he's bigger, probably like 6'4", right?
Okay.
Long hair, burnout, right? He came in with flip flops. We're like, hey Gary, because he was bitching, right? He's like, what's up, fellas? He's like, hey lady. He goes, you got a size 13? She goes, in what? He goes, the shoe skate. And she's like, all right. She comes out with the shoe skate, and watching Gary, right? He takes his flip flops off. He puts on the skates. He goes, yeah, these are pretty comfortable. Does a couple twirls, and he goes, thanks, and skates out the store.
I knew someone, you or someone was stealing the skates.
Dude,
I knew this.
we were like, and I always remember seeing his old worn out flip flops and the lady standing there.
He couldn't in at him.
Nothing. He took off with his brand new shoe skates. But
Did
that's
you ever see him on the Strand running them? And
No, but he doesn't even remember that. I told when you're a kid and you remember that story. I told him, Gary, he goes, I did that. Yeah, I mean Gary was gnarly. He did a lot of shit like that. But
yeah,
you started skating,
roller skating,
and then got into skateboarding.
Yeah.
And then were you just working at it all the time? And
yeah,
you probably knew who's my favorite skater is from the South Bay. Oh,
Mike Smith,
No.
Todd Conjolier.
No, he's fucking masterful. I can't think of his name right now.
Rocco.
Asian guy.
Oh, Day One.
Day One song.
Yeah, Day One.
Dude, I mean, because me and Dylan were skating with him when
Yeah.
he was young.
No, I know Day One.
Yeah, he was
Day One's
incredible.
my boy. Yeah.
You guys are probably the same age.
Yeah. I think we're
Did you
a
know
year
him?
apart. Yeah, we're a year apart. We always ran into each other. My friends always bought boards off of him.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to go.
Then
to
how
Day
did
One.
you land your first sponsor, I guess, whatever? I mean, how did you get into that?
It just happened. People just wanted to start sponsoring me and stuff. I used to get boards from Rodney back in the day.
Really?
And then Sal Rocco Steve Rocco's brother, was the one who started calling me Wee Man when I was like 13, 14 years old.
Is that how? Yeah.
Yeah, it was when I'd go to the World Industries warehouse and Sal would be like, hey, everybody, Wee Man's here. Wee Man's here. And then the Big Brother guys knew it and all that. And so it just stayed and clicked.
So after you started getting all this, this sort of acclaim, right?
Yeah.
It was off. You're off to the races.
Off to the races. Didn't care.
And then how did Jackass come about?
Because it was Big Brother magazine where we were skating and doing Jackass stuff. And then CKY on the East Coast. And Jeff was like, let's collab and do this. Let's do a show. We all thought, oh, it's going to be one episode on the air. And 20 years from now, remember when you guys tried to do that crazy show?
Right.
And I thought it would be like that for the rest. No, it's even 1,000 times worse.
That's wild. I mean, what did your family think of all that? What were they thinking? Because I remember I went to a family party at your house.
Yeah.
Long time ago with your dad.
Yeah.
With a big cook-off.
Sisters.
Yeah.
And all that. Everybody was there.
I mean, they'd be so proud of you. And
They
stoked.
were, but I don't know what they really thought of it. Like, they never really said, you know?
Really?
They just let it ride. They're like, well, that's Jay doing whatever he wants to do. Because I've been doing that my whole life.
Right.
Even when I was a kid, all my family would always ask, where's Jay at? Where's Jay?
You were doing shit.
Yeah. What's he doing? Where's he at now? What's in there? Like, of course he went into this.
And then I remember too, I mean, when you were always getting your hand in things. That's what I
Always.
remember too was different about you.
I can't sit still.
No, you get in, like, I remember when you started doing the chronic tacos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you had so many things going, like little businesses, and
Always.
I remember had new boards coming out all the time, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I was
Yeah.
gonna bring them. I got so many boards.
Oh, I know.
Decks that you've given me and
Yeah.
Dylan over the years.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I can't sit still. I can't be in neutral.
Do you have any other things going right now?
Yeah, but I can't say
You
'em.
can't?
No, I can't.
But what about chronic tacos? Is that still going?
It is. I'm kind of on. I'm stepping down.
You are.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been with it over 18 years. I've been with it
Wow.
for 18 years. So.
What are you gonna do now? What can you say that you're doing?
I'm just staying busy. I'm doing comedy. I'm still doing comedy.
Where's the next comedy show?
I can't say that either because
What?
I don't know on low. We got one's coming. They're out of state.
You're not gonna do one here? You gotta do one here.
I don't know where.
Dude,
like,
you gotta do one here.
yeah, but it's so saturated. I've done a
Not
few
your
here.
show.
I've done a few here already.
You have?
Yeah. I did stand up in the spot back in January. There was like 6 of us. And it was kind of going okay. It was going okay. And I came up and I killed it out of nowhere. And the guy, Jeremiah Watkins, he was like, dude, great show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. I just went up and just did it.
What
So-
about movies? You got any movies you want to do, or
Oh,
anybody you want to
would.
work with, or
There's stuff. There's people. I have meetings today about some future stuff.
film stuff?
Maybe film, maybe theater.
How come you've not? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I might go do this little Santa Monica Airport theater.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm teasing. I'm just saying.
The Ruskin
Just-
Theater.
Just throwing it out there. All 20 seats sold.
They're building a big theater now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're done.
No, they need to. That place is cool. Tell Alan to get there earlier than he did last time. I give him shit about that.
Did you
Yeah.
tell him?
That's all I'm like, wait, Alan, how's the show? What time did you get there?
So funny. So Jim, do you remember that we were doing the show, and then Alan, his Wee Man's manager and my buddy,
Yeah.
and I come out in the clown makeup, right?
First.
It's the first thing, and it's off within a couple of minutes. It's
10
off.
minutes.
I wipe it off.
10 minutes you wipe
right?
it off.
But there's residue of makeup.
Yeah.
And Alan, at the end, everybody's laughing and having a great time. And he goes, can I just give you a little note? And I go, yeah, what is it? He goes, you don't need so much makeup on. And he goes, well, you don't have to put any makeup on. I go, put makeup on. He goes, yeah. He goes, in stand-up, he goes, you don't need makeup. And I thought, what the fuck's he talking about? And I go, but I'm a clown, Alan. And he just kind of gave me this weird look. And then we found out later.
He showed up late.
He showed
missed
up
the
late.
clown part.
So he missed the whole clown part.
Yeah. Idiot. Way to go, Alan.
Nice, Alan.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just best. Shh. You just threw yourself under the bus.
You've been with Alan a long time.
Yeah. I've tried to fire him a couple times, and I just can't. I tease him weird, my buddy. He doesn't even know. There's one point I was kind of getting over him. This is like 10 years ago or so. he would call me, and I literally said, "You got 90 seconds. Go." And I would just let him give his spiel, and then I'd be like, "All right, cool. I'll let you know. Bye."
Poor Alan, right? And Alan was a big manager in his day, a big agent.
He's huge.
He used to represent, I think. He had some big ones. He had some big names.
He's got
Bruce Dern now.
Bruce Dern,
Who's
Rip
amazing.
Torn.
Rip Torn.
Yep.
I think he used to be the agent for Robin Williams
Yep.
back in the
Robin
day.
Williams back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, crazy.
Oh, we used to go out drinking. He'd come on these tours that I would do like events for, and we'd be drinking. I'd get so wasted. I'd be like, "Alan, you're not my dad." Like, you know what I mean? Cut it out. What are you doing?
I gotta get Alan on here. He's been great. He's really got some good stories.
Oh, he's got good stories.
You know what I mean?
Dude. Yeah.
He's
Especially like from the day.
Yeah, from the day. He'd be
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you on here, Alan.
Yeah.
Alan Summers.
Be ready.
Yeah, be ready.
Don't hold back.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst thing to do.
I want to go back to with when you were younger, because I just think I want to tell people what you were.
Oh, I've been a bully since I was a kid.
But what I'm gonna say is, I love that about you. You have a big personality and you don't hold back. And,
No.
But what
I
was
tell
gonna,
it how it is.
But what I was gonna say is, and you check shit out. You're like, when you and I got together and I was doing. I remember we were going to do Winnebago.
Yeah,
There was a hot script.
And that's why 5150 came out to help sell Winnebago.
That's
or help
right.
get it
And
on
Winnebago was going to be like my big movie,
market.
right?
Yeah. What happened? Guess the wheels fell off, huh?
It's just fucking off.
The wheels fell off.
I hooked
that
up with
Winnebago.
Pete Gulke. That's what happened.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
But what was funny was I remember you're very confident. And I remember, but very nice. And so I got you the script. You read the script, and you go, I like it. Let's do it. And I had at the time we had Danny Trejo, Selma Hayek,
Me.
you, Mickey Rourke was
Mickey
possible,
Rourke,
right?
Yep. I remember it all.
And Steve Buscemi was floating around, right? Where the idea was that, and then you said to me, you go, I like it. You go, but you got to change one thing. And I go, what's that? You go, you have the word midget in there, and you can't have that. You go, it's got to be little person.
Back then I did.
Yeah.
Now I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's use the word midget. We're using midget all day long.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've changed it. I've been like, why hold back?
But I still thought it was great that what I was going
I
to say.
did then.
You're confident. No, but you're confident. You have a
But
confidence.
it's more confidence now. And the reason is little people hate that word.
They do. Where
They
did
hate
it come from then?
It's from back in the day. Even like
Really?
Billy Barty used to use it.
Billy Barty, yeah.
It used to be the midgets of America
Love
when
that.
he first started it. And then he changed it. Somehow, somewhere.
He changed it?
Yeah, they changed it as a group. And now it's Little People of America.
But nobody wants that.
No, they want that. They don't want the word midget.
Oh.
And then I was like, I thought about it, and I was on radio. This is where I really thought about it. Because then I started thinking it through. I was like, why the fuck am I worried about a word?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I throw myself off bridges strapped to my friend, and I'm worried about what somebody
fucking
says.
great, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
I'm more worried about staying alive than what somebody says. And it goes back to the old saying, like, sticks and stones and your
Yeah.
bros, and whatever you do will break you. But words, like, really? Come on.
But see, that's what I want to keep going on, that because I think
I did it then, and I do it now, but I do it the other way.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You have a confidence you're so comfortable with who you are.
Yeah.
Because, and I'll tell you, I don't know if Jim knows, when I've told you this story, you remember it because you're the story. But when Dylan was a little kid, he was at school bragging to everybody how he knew you, right?
Okay.
And this one kid, he was like this punk kid. He lived around the corner, and Dylan came home and he was really upset. He was crying, right? And I go, what's the matter? And he goes, Matthew said that I didn't know Wee Man. And they started laughing at me and making fun, right? And you came over the next day. And I told you the story. Dylan must have been like, I don't know, 7 years old, right?
Okay.
And you go, what? Who's Matthew? And I go, oh, he's this kid that lives around the corner. I go, they were making fun of him. He goes, let's go. And you grab Dylan and you go, show me where he lives. Man, I'll never forget. You know, and as a dad,
Yeah.
it was a big deal to me.
Okay.
Your kid, you love your kid more than anything.
Yeah.
And you don't want anybody to hurt him.
Yeah.
And someone like you came in and rescued him. And as a person who was a celebrity, an icon in the skateboard world, movies, to take the time, and you took my son and walked him around the corner, around the block, and you go, where does he live? And Dylan goes, right there. Points to the door, right? And you go, let's go. That's right.
Matthew home.
Exactly. And man, I'll tell you, he opened the fucking door, and you're standing with you, Matthew. I'm Wee Man, and I'm Dylan's friend. And his fucking eyes, right? It was fucking amazing. And I'll never forget that. That meant so much to me.
Yeah.
And your friendship has meant so much to me because you're, like I said, you're a guy that gets in anything, and your confidence and the way you just take care of people. I think it's a big deal, and you're comfortable with who you are. I think people can learn from that.
Yeah.
They'd be excited about that.
I never.
You're a role model.
I just do it just because I do it. I don't think about it that way.
But you are. You're a role model. People must look at you that way.
They
Kids
do, and
shit.
it takes it's crazy at times.
Why?
You know, I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about it sometimes when I'm like, okay, well, let's go here. And they're like, oh, well, do we have to dress fancy? Hell no, we don't have to dress. You show up like you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
when I remember, like, who cares?
Was there ever a time when you had no confidence, or was there a time where you had a rough? What was like a rough patch of your?
No, there wasn't rough patches, but there was sometimes of anxiety at times.
What would that be about, the anxiety?
Trying to go someplace and then just getting bombarded. You know what I mean?
By fans?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? When remember Alan had me write that. Alan again.
Always Alan.
Alan had me write with Bo Welsh. Remember that script? I had the idea for Mole Men. It was a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
And so it was going to be, he had put together, it was going to be me, and I wrote it with Bo Welsh, and then you were going to be the star from Bad Santa.
Tony Cox.
Tony Cox. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was going to be you and Tony Cox.
Yeah.
Starring this movie Mole Men.
Yeah.
Where you guys are going to be superheroes. And I remember Alan had set up this meeting with me and Tony. You were out of town doing something, but we were trying to pitch the show, the movie. And Alan said, go pick up Tony, or we're going to meet Tony. So Tony and I had time to kill, and we were going to go to and he's very small.
Yeah.
Right? We were going to go to a Starbucks. And we walked in, and it was crowded. And, of course, everybody's looking at him because they know him from Bad Santa, right?
Uh-huh.
And he told me, don't leave me alone.
Okay.
And I go, why? And he goes, man, just don't leave me alone. He goes, stay with me. And he told me later, he goes, everybody wants him, and they mob him.
Yeah.
And the mob thing, he goes, I'm small.
It gets overwhelming too.
And he said, he goes, I've had people grab me and pull at me, and
Yeah.
But so you were saying that's when you'll feel anxiety with too many people.
Yeah.
Is it just because it's overwhelming?
It used to, but it doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
It used to, but not as much. At first, it was.
Is that part of is that kind of like then at the time when you first become famous?
Yeah, you don't know how to handle it.
Right?
It's different. It's a whole different. You're like, what the hell's going on?
That had to come like that.
Yeah, I knew. So I was still skating with Dogtown and Grand King Trucks when we started putting the Jackass TV show out. But we were only making enough for hamburgers and fries on the TV show, right?
Yeah.
So I was still like going on tours and stuff. It had been 3 months that we'd put the show out.
So it had been out for 3 months.
3 months.
Okay.
And Grind King's like, hey, we're gonna do a tour in Japan. We want to send you to Japan with a couple guys. And I said, all right, let's go. So we show up to Japan to do these skate tours, and we're just walking down the street in Shibuya, Japan.
Right.
And people are running out of the stores going, "Wee man! Wee man!" And my buddies all on the skate tour are like, "Oh, dude, it's on now." Like,
wow.
This is the turning point.
It was like a switch went on.
It was like, boom. Yep. And
what did that feel like?
I remember to this day, I was like, oh, shit. You know?
Your
like,
life changed.
Yeah. I was
it just
like,
changed overnight.
It's all new now.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be a weird thing because...
At first it is, but it was easy to accept because I'd already been being stared at for being a little person.
Wow.
So I already knew that feeling of people like looking at you like they were like, what's going on here, you know? So it wasn't as harsh.
So you had sort of, yeah.
It wasn't as harsh as like coming from 0 to 100, you know?
Interesting, yeah.
So.
I would have never thought about that.
Yeah. But Knoxville he said when we were doing it all, he's like, Wee Man's going to be the most recognizable one out of the group.
Totally.
And there's been times,
right.
People come up, they're like, I saw Steve-O walk by and I was wondering if it was him. And then you came in and I knew it was you guys.
Totally.
So, you know.
Do you ever talk to Knoxville anymore?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And Steve-O?
All of them. Every single one.
You know, it's funny. You know my Knoxville story.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
He was my bar back.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of this morning because I also was thinking, like, you never had a problem with drugs and alcohol.
Nope.
I mean, there's a difference. I noticed there was a difference when you and I started hanging out, right? Because I've been sober for 33 years, but I was gnarly, right? And I know Steve-O's sober, right? I don't know if Knoxville is or not, but he's
pretty much.
But he and I, you know, back in the day, I mean,
yeah,
it was crazy, right? And I'll never forget, like we worked at Stratton's Grill, which we were talking about the other day, which it was a super radical college bar in Westwood at UCLA.
Oh, okay.
And he was my bar back, and by this point I was getting so drunk every night, like I couldn't control it. It had been years since I could control it, and I was massive amounts of cocaine and everything else. And the other bartenders, when I would start to black out, they would take me away from my well and they would go lock me downstairs in the liquor room.
Okay.
Right? And then Knoxville would take over at the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
He was young, but he was still learning how to bartend. He was like 18 at the time.
Yeah.
And they would lock me in there until I would, like, when they would leave for work, they'd let me out. I'd kind of sleep it off.
Yeah.
And one day, one of them didn't lock it.
Let you out?
They didn't lock it.
Oh, okay.
And the place is pumping, right? Hundreds of people. And somehow I got out. And I staggered upstairs and nobody noticed. I went behind the bar. I thought I was in the bathroom.
And you just started peeing.
I pulled my pants down. I just started pissing in the ice all over the place. And I heard all these people start screaming, right? Girls screaming.
What are they doing?
Yeah, and then I turned around. I still didn't quite know where I was, but the last thing I saw was Knoxville with a big grin. And he turned this fucking hose on and shot me in the dick. And I went flying back as my pants were around my ankles, hit my head, and got knocked out. And they dragged me out. And somebody said that some girl threw a cocktail napkin
with her number.
No, and it landed on
your dick. No way.
But what's funny is, I went to a party a couple months ago.
Okay.
And I saw these two dudes that were bartenders there. There's my son.
Yep, Dylan. What's up, Dylan?
But I saw these two dudes that were bartenders.
Okay.
Right. And I hadn't seen them since then at the bar, and they were at the party.
Still bartending.
One of them is, and I said to him, I said, they started talking about that. And I said, was it that bad? And they go, it was bad, dude. But what I remember about you is you weren't like that.
I talk about it all the time.
You had this sort of like focus.
Yeah.
You've always had this focus, this drive.
Yeah.
Why? How could that be?
I don't know.
that you
I
never
just-
got
I
caught
knew-
up in that.
Because I would see friends on skate tours and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd have to share rooms because we had no money, whatever, and stuff. But they party.
Yeah.
And you'd wake up in the middle of the night with one of your bros come back with the local drug dealer because they did drugs together. And then they're in the room like, dude, I'm going to fucking start this t-shirt business tomorrow. It's going to be fucking so good, dude. We're going to fucking kill it. We're going to be millionaires. You know what I mean? You're like, shut the fuck up, trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I would like, okay, these guys are gonna be gazillion. I'm like, so what's up with your t-shirt? What t-shirt business? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just hung over, just hurting. I don't know. All night you're like, you're gonna make these fucking t-shirts and shit like that.
But even in Jackass, you had to be around all that all the
dude,
time.
it was handed to me. I was
And how would you
tables.
not, you know,
Just wouldn't.
you just weren't into it.
Never done it once. Never wanted to. I saw the moment of little fun, and then the rest was just
You're watching it.
shitty feeling.
And you're watching it through sober eyes. It's different.
Yeah,
You're seeing the
see it.
reality of it.
Full reality.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I went around and got shit-faced drunk here and there
Right.
and stuff, and would realize, like, I don't want to do that again, and so, you know. But never drugs.
That's amazing.
Never drugs.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Even had hot model chicks, famous ones, like, let's leave the bar. And I'm like,
Really?
all right.
Yeah.
And we're leaving the bar, and she's like, all right, let's get Coke. And I'm like, nope, later. And ditched him.
It's
Left
amazing.
him hanging.
It's great. But
Bye.
that's like rare to me. I mean, that's pretty rare to me. That's what I'm saying. To not get, you got caught, I mean, to not get caught up in all, like we're just talking about you getting famous and this and that, and it's like a switch was turned on, and to not get sucked into that world.
Nope.
I'd have been fucking lost. I'd have been dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for you to be able to, you know, have this hugely successful career, what do you think, if you could
I would have
say,
blew my money.
but what would you think it is that, what do you think it was, or the one thing that where you go, I'm not doing that kept you from that?
I think I had, because skating, I knew I didn't need drugs or anything to do.
Right.
And skating was still happening and doing things with it as we were doing this.
So you still
I'm
had
like,
that.
No, I
It's
still
your
want
love,
I
too.
still want to skate.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fuck up skating from this. If I do
Yeah.
that, I'm done. No more skating.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, skating's more important.
Yeah. What now?
Still skating.
What? Give me something.
Something?
Give me something. What you're doing.
Comedy. Always fall back on comedy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no, it's and I wrote new funny stuff
You
like
did.
for this thing. Yeah.
So you're writing.
Yeah.
You're writing comedy?
Yeah, writing it. New stuff. Doesn't it like half of it's Jackass stuff and half's like, holy shit. Just funny shit that people wouldn't even think about, you know? That I'm like, oh wait. I'm
Yeah.
gonna catch them off guard with this.
I know what I wanted to ask you.
What?
What about marriage?
Nah.
You ever want?
I
you ever want to
tried
have
it
kids?
once. I tried it once.
Right, I remember.
Lasted 3 months. Got it annulled. That was a shit show.
Yeah.
And then right at COVID, I got engaged again. That was a shit show. I thought maybe one more time, like,
Yeah.
you know, it was, COVID was weird. But then I finally realized, nah, I'm good.
What do you think it was? Like, what is there? What do you think it?
I don't know.
Like, 'cause that's two of them, right?
That's 2.
Do you have a bad picker?
No. Maybe I am a bad picker, but not a bad pecker. I don't know.
If the one comes along, though, you're open.
Open.
You're totally open.
Totally open.
You're open to kids? Do you ever
Maybe.
think about kids? Having kids?
No.
No?
Not in this world nowadays.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too thrashed. Especially if there was another little person, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would have the same like wiring as me to get through this world the way I did.
Well, you mean if you had a
little person.
a kid who was a
Yeah.
little person?
Yeah.
What are the chances of that, though? Right?
50-50.
Oh, it is?
It's 50-50.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's even higher when the male is smaller, I think. But it's all a roulette gamble.
Right.
Because there's that couple, the Little People Big World couple.
Yeah.
They're both small,
Yeah.
all average height kids, and then one that was a twin was little. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, so
So they had
they had a regular
and a twin who was
they,
a little.
they had a regular daughter and a regular son, and then they had another son, regular height, with a twin brother who was a little person, and they were twins even.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's anything.
Yeah.
It's a hiccup in your genetics,
I didn't
in
know.
your chromosomes. You have 27 chromosomes that make up everything about you. One little hiccup just changes everything. One little,
Yeah.
that's it. That's all it takes. A little education there for the internet
Yeah.
people.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When we were doing 5150, and the stunt guy told us on your show, the guy, when you were on the top of the shelf and you were going to jump off, right?
He's like, no way.
Yeah, he goes, no. He goes, you better let me do that. And then, because you were going to jump on my back.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, no. And I go, oh, okay. And he goes, no. He goes, and then you said, I forget how it went, but you were going to jump onto his back, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And he goes,
I did.
He goes, don't worry about it. He made some crack
Oh, yeah,
about you.
I got this.
Yeah, like
And
you were
I'm
being
like-
small and it wasn't going to affect him in any way.
And I'm like, all right, it's on now, bitch. I'm like, you just made my friend out of this shot.
Yeah.
It's on.
That's right. Oh, I never forget. You go, watch this. And you just buried the guy's head into the shot. Oh, because we did
I'm
take
like-
after take.
And I'm like, we got to get the shot.
That's right. Yeah, that's good, dude.
Yeah. Well, bring it back. Bring back Winnebago. I bet Winnebago could still do good now.
Oh, it's funny. I just read it again the other day because Pete and I were talking about that.
Yeah.
And your part's like the best part in it. You're the hero
Let's
of
do it.
the whole movie.
That's what I'm doing Winnebago.
That's what
what
we're
I'm
doing.
doing.
We're doing Winnebago.
Yeah, if you want to know what's coming up, Winnebago 2025.
But see, there you go.
Putting it out there.
How are we doing on?
51 minutes.
Oh,
Great.
yeah. 5150.
5150.
See? It knew. That's when I hit the Winnebago at you.
So what are you doing next? No.
No, I don't know. I've just been traveling a bunch. Just doing my own thing, living.
Give me some advice. I love to ask for advice.
Advice?
Give me advice from what you've gained from your life, from you growing up, right?
Yeah.
To getting into pro skating, to having this big, what kind of advice would you have to anybody that's trying to get anywhere in life? And maybe you talked about anxiety, and they might have some other kind of anxiety.
Uh-huh.
How do you get to, like, let's say your dream, fulfill your dream. What advice would you have to someone?
Literally,
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck what your parents say. Don't give a fuck people tell you. You know what happened to me a lot as a kid?
What?
And I think that's what put me. I was going to school and the teachers be like, I would hear them. They'd be like, hey, we're going to have a meeting with your mom in the office. And one time my mom came out crying. I'm like, why are you crying? She said, they think you're going to have it rough here. I'm going to have it rough here? I ain't going to have it fucking rough here. Watch this, principal. Make my mom cry and say, I'm going to have it rough here. You're about to have it rough here. So I think it was always people telling me, you're little. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this isn't for you. Oh, really? Watch now. This is so for me now that not only is it for me, it's all about me.
Dude, you like, when I think of you, what you just said, that's who I know.
Yeah.
You just were able to put that into words. If somebody was going to ask me to describe you,
Yeah.
that's you.
Yeah.
You have the biggest personality of anybody I know. You really do.
Tell him he can't do it. Watch, he's going to
Dude.
do it tenfold.
And that's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
With 5150. You know.
Yeah.
I remember doing other things with you, and it would be a take, and you'd go, "Fuck it, let's roll."
Yeah.
I need another take. You'd go, "Nope."
Nope. Did it. Done. Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. We're wasting daylight.
Yeah. That's great, dude.
I used to tell my friends all the time when they'd be like, "Hey, you think we can go get in it?" Of course we're gonna get in it. Let's just show up.
And where in that lack of fear, right? Is where does that come from?
I don't know, because I used to tell my mom this, and my mom said even when I was a kid, I just want to do things and be out there. And she goes, "Hey, when I was like 7 or 8, she took me. This is funny, and my dad too. They know because I told them both. They go, "Hey, there's this group. It's little people, like you." And I'm like me? What do you mean like me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean me? I'm like, there's only one me.
Right.
So they took me to this thing, little people convention, and it's all little people there, and they were all like complaining, and it felt cultish, kind of like
Yeah.
like, oh, what?
Did-
And
how did-
and I even felt out of place there. So I came back, and when we came home, they're like, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "I don't like it. That's not for me.
What
I don't
was
want to
it?
be in that just because of this.
And it was.
I want to be
yeah.
with my skate friends, my bicycle friends, my friends where we all think the same,
Yeah. Because the truth is what you're saying, which is I know for me it took me years to find, was how to be comfortable in my own skin.
Be comfortable, you.
You
Be
know?
comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just be like, hate the pain.
Yeah.
Actually love the pain.
Love the pain.
Love
yeah.
the pain. If it hurts, fuck it. Love
Because
it.
the truth is, I mean, the reality of it is
Everybody's hurting.
and you're an original.
Yeah.
You're a fucking total original. There is nobody like you.
No.
And I think that's what we were talking about this the other day. We're always trying to be something we're not, or be somebody that I think you want me to be, especially in this
That's
business.
why when everybody was doing drugs, I'm like, I don't do drugs.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
even-
for me, and which is a great point, because you were comfortable with who you were. For me, when I was doing drugs, I wasn't comfortable with who I was. I couldn't stand who I was.
So you
I
tried to
couldn't.
cover it up.
Exactly. I need to forget about that, push that down, push it away. And the only way I could do that is I got to be high.
I did that a couple times with alcohol. I didn't like where I was, what I was doing, and all that, and I covered it up with alcohol.
So you were drinking.
I admitted it to myself. I was on a daily thing.
Yeah.
Fuck it, nothing to do, drink. Fuck it, nothing to do, drink.
What was it? What was happening at that time?
Just all kind. I don't know, just negativity in my head.
Where,
Just self-doubt. Self-doubt.
was it after Jackass?
Oh yeah,
before
this was like before COVID and mid COVID. It was I sold my
Oh.
house. I was on the road. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I really doing?
So you were in that camper van, and
I was
the
in
one you
the-
told me about that had all the toilet.
Yeah,
and
everything. And I was traveling and I was skating here and there. But I felt like I was going everywhere but going nowhere at the same time.
So then you just started drinking.
Yeah, just drink.
Yeah, there's
Nothing
nothing
else to do.
Fuck it.
Nothing else to do.
And you could forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
you'd
know
wake
about
up and you'd hurt and you'd drink more.
that. Yeah.
And you felt good for a little bit. And
Yeah.
it passes time by so fast.
Do you think the COVID had anything to do with that?
A little bit. Yeah,
Because you're a guy that's always, like you said, you got to be doing something.
I do. I can't sit. Neutral's bad.
See, for me, the COVID, I fucking loved it. Because for me, the COVID, I mean, of course, it was horrible that people they were dying and
Yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah.
that was gnarly. I'm not saying that. But for me, it was such a great surrender. I'm like you. I'm always trying to do stuff, right? And for me, it's a different story. I'm struggling to get things made or whatever, and what
Yeah.
I'm doing, right? And so for me, when COVID happened, it was like, fuck it.
Can't do nothing.
Nothing you can do.
I can't do that.
Nothing.
I'm the opposite.
I got to let go. I got to let go and go, well, this is
My-
the way it is right now.
My mind goes.
And that's what happened to you.
Yeah, my mind was just going.
And then how did you get away from the drinking then?
I just stopped. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I just done.
Yeah. And here
So-
you are now,
Yeah.
wasted.
fucking, dude. What day is today? Fuck, dude.
Dude, that's great, man. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I got to have you here today.
Fuck yeah, brother.
I mean, I just love you. You're the best, man.
Thank you.
And we've been friends for a long time. We got to do a
I've
lot
been
of
hanging.
shit
You know
together.
why I'm hanging out? Because I'm tired. When are we making this movie?
We're gonna do it.
Winnebago.
We're gonna make.
I
Pete-
even got my own. I started driving my own Winnebago. I'm like, are we gonna do this, or
That's right.
do I need to buy my own, or
Yeah.
what?
We
What's
should-
it gonna take?
We're gonna do that.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do it.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna
Push
call
the
Pete
button.
today. We're gonna do it.
Call Pete right now.
Yeah. He said that
Hollywood
actually.
is missing shit.
I know. You know what Hollywood's missing? We were talking about this the other day. Hollywood to me is missing comedy. Original comedies.
Originals.
And we were
Stop
s-
doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and you can
Stop
make it
fucking
now.
TikTok dancing.
No.
Stop putting bullshit out there.
That's right.
We need some real shit.
And we can do it now. I was
do
saying
it.
that yesterday with Pete. We were talking in gym.
Okay, you said it.
You can do it. You
Let's
can
go.
do it today.
Let's do it.
Technology. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, we're in.
That's how we end it.
Oh, we love it.
After this, you're going to see Winnebago.
Well, that was another savory conversation with one of my favorite unsavory fellows. Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
You.
Aloha.
ウィメンが大好きです